Harp On Sports, The Bar, podcast, audio, media, radio network. Follow, share, like, subscribe at Harp On Sports on all your platforms. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Harp On Sports, Facebook page, of course. Harp On Sports, the YouTube channel. And, of course, harponsports.com. What do we have in store for you on this edition of the program? Urban out. So, now what in Jacksonville? Urban out. So now what for Urban Meyer? People think that he's never going to get another coaching job again. You're crazy. He's going to get another one if he wants one. So we're going to look at both of those things. Also, the Florida Gators find themselves dead last. 14 out of 14 in terms of SEC schools in recruiting. Recruiting's everything. Now recruiting is not that important. For Dan Mullen, it was everything. For Billy Napier, it's, you know what? He's building a culture. What a load. And Emory Jones says he's going to enter the transfer portal after he plays in a bowl game. If you're the University of Florida, this guy is dumping you, and he's still going to show up at your house and get Christmas presents before he takes off? So we're going to look at that as well. All right, let's talk about Urban Meyer and the Jaguars. I didn't think he was going to get let go. I didn't. I also didn't think that I didn't know that he was kicking football players. And this is an old story. This story is from a couple of weeks ago, actually a couple months ago, that people have known about this. This is death by 1,000 paper cuts with Urban Meyer. Just more stuff kept coming out and more stuff kept coming out. It almost seems as if things were being leaked and leaked again and leaked again and leaked again. And nothing was working. So boom, the Lambeau thing comes out and that's it. So now he's done. I did love to sit down on TV with him like he was Paula Jones or Jennifer Flowers. The president had an inappropriate conversation with me. It's like, okay, I don't know if this is sit down worthy, but okay. And then to each their own. Create your own content. I do know this, though. He is gone, and now the Jaguars need to decide what they're going to do. I can't think of a franchise in all of sports that's made more poor decisions the last 4 or 5 years than this one. When's the last time this franchise made a good choice? Seriously. When's the last time this franchise made a good decision? You stumbled into Trevor Lawrence. It's not like that was a good decision. It was the only decision. When's the last time this organization made a good decision? Anywhere. But Josh Allen? I mean, it's just poor choice after poor choice after poor choice. So at this time, Shad Khan and, here, Byron Leftwich. Guys, take a step back. It's got to be bigger than that. Somebody's got to spearhead this thing that's had a track record of past success. I've said it for years. I've said it 2 years ago. I said it 4 years ago. When Coughlin was done, if you really want to fix this thing, if you really want to fix it, he's retired. He's 64. He's in the front office. He's making $3 million a year. I sit down with Ozzie Newsome. I offer him $10 million a year. If he doesn't want it, I'll offer him $15 million a year. I'd rather spend $15 million on a guy that's going to pick 6 picks a year, 7 picks a year for the next 4 years. That's 28 picks. To me, that's more worthy of investment than a left guard on the open market. It is. I'd pay Ozzie Newsome $10 million a year to run this thing. I know he's done it. Look what he did in Baltimore. Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer that he picked. I mean, Joe Flacco leads him to a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco had a good run for 7 or 8 years. Not anymore. But the Ravens were one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the AFC every year for 10 years because of Joe Flacco. It's true. Not anymore, but they were. And then here's Lamar Jackson. Those are Ozzie Newsome guys. Ed Reed, Ray Lewis. Those are Ozzie Newsome guys. They are. Go up and down that list. Look at all those guys. They're his guys. He built a culture. It was a successful culture. It was a winning culture. It's still a winning culture. Seriously, how many losing seasons has the Ravens had under Ozzie Newsome? 20 years. How many did they have? Not very many. What, 3, 4? 4? There's where you go. That's what you do. You hire him and you let him do it all. The guy's extremely successful. Proven track record. Then you can go find an assistant GM that's worked under this guy or worked under that guy. Yeah, but that guy's worked under somebody. Anybody can be a co-pilot. Being the pilot's a little bit trickier. So you want to go Ozzie Newsome, fine. You want to trout out, find another GM, fine. Shad Khan, if he's serious about this. Serious, that's what you do. Oh, and head coaching candidates? Everybody's going to have their list. This is the guy. This is the guy. Byron Leftwich. Look at the success he's had in Tampa. There's a guy there that's pretty good that he's got at quarterback. Doesn't he? I mean, Tom Brady's made Byron Leftwich look really, really good, right? Now, has Byron Leftwich learned from Tom Brady that he can use that skill set on Trevor Lawrence? Maybe. Eric Bieniemy. The guy's a great play caller. But constructing offenses, is that Andy Reid or Eric Bieniemy? I don't know. I do know this, though. I want a guy that's got a track record of actually developing somebody. Did Byron Leftwich develop Tom Brady? Sorry, gang. Did Eric Bieniemy develop? Did he? Patrick Mahomes? I don't. Did he? So I take a step back and look around and go, okay, who else would it be? Doug Peterson. I like Doug Peterson as a coach. I do. Things went wrong in Philly. How much of that was Frank Reich in Philly? Don't know. Frank Reich did a pretty good job in Indianapolis. Doug Peterson get another chance? Maybe. But the first phone call, I haven't even mentioned who it should be. Look at the job he's done this year in New England. No, not Bill Belichick. Shad Khan's first call as a head coach, well, his first call should be to Ozzie Newsome. What Ozzie wants to do, then you go down that path. But if you want to do that, your head coach, first call, if it's not Josh McDaniels, you're insane. Josh McDaniels has taken Mac Jones and reinvented that offense. 12 games. Think about it. And that's a division that had 2 playoff teams in it from a year ago. It is, isn't it? That's a division. 2 playoff teams a year ago. Dolphins, Bills. Patriots are going to win that division. Mac Jones, Rookie of the Year. Josh McDaniels. Now, was Josh McDaniels leave New England to go to Jacksonville? I think Trevor Lawrence is that carrot. That's who they should target. If you're not going after Josh McDaniels and you're Jacksonville, again, Byron Leftwich, he's Tampa, he's local, he played for the Jaguars. Who cares? Look what he's done. Look what he's done. Look what he's done with Tom Brady. Wow. Give me $1 million. Let's see what I do with it. Oh, look what he's done with $1 million. He built a house. Oh, look what he did. So there you go. At least on that front. That's the Jaguars. Again, I go back to this every single time. It's a broken record. Now, Ozzie's not going to stay there forever. But what Ozzie can do in 4 years, you do a 4-year deal. In 4 years, you look at teams that are successful in the NFL, their arc to be successful. Think about it. How long did it take the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl? About 4 years, right? How long did it take the 49ers to rebuild that? About 4 years, right? The Rams, when they went to the Super Bowl, it took them about 4 years to build it. It'll take you about 4 years to build it. And then Ozzie, after 4 years, whoever his assistant is, learns under Ozzie for 4 years, and then it's over. Then you slot Ozzie, well, unless Ozzie wants to stay. That's what I would do. Ozzie's making $3 million a year. Pay him 10. Josh McDaniels should be your first call. If he's not your first call, you're what are you doing? I like Kellen Moore too in Dallas, I do, but Josh McDaniels. Yeah. Well, he failed in Denver. Yeah, 10 years ago. Pete Carroll failed. If you look at the same arc, Pete Carroll failed where? Failed in New England, failed with the Jets. Goes to the college ranks for a decade. Leaves USC, comes to Seahawks, been pretty successful, right? He'd say he had a good run in Seattle. Josh McDaniels didn't go the college route. Denver didn't work. Went back to New England. Been there 10 years now. Come on back. Josh McDaniels should be the next head coach of the Jaguars. Urban Meyer, what's next for Urban Meyer? The thought process that Urban's done. Urban will never coach again. Come on. His career's dead. You know better than that? Hugh Freeze is a head football coach collegiately. Rick Pitino is a head basketball coach. Louisville had a dorm where they had hookers and prostitutes with the players. Hugh Freeze, what'd that dude do? Well, he's calling escort services using the company phone when he's married. He's a head football coach. Well, Urban's never going to get another chance? Come on. Of course he's going to get another chance. Now, when's that chance? Here's the thing, gang. In 2 years, there's going to be 3 or 4 coaches do a lot worse. What did he do? And you always could chalk it up like this. Well, the NFL didn't work out. All those millionaire baby players, he's best suited for the college ranks. He didn't leave on his own terms. He got fired. It was ugly. And the whole, he's going to fake another heart attack. It's not going to work out. You kidding me? I'm going to lay out 3 scenarios right now where, I don't know, within 12 months, but within 24 months, Urban Meyer could be a head coach at these 3 schools. Here's 3 possible schools where Urban Meyer could be a head coach within 24 months. You ready? Forget the SEC. He's not going to go back to the SEC. He's just not. If Dave Aranda leaves Baylor, Baylor. Big 12, Urban Meyer, Texas, recruiting-wise. If Dave Aranda would leave Baylor, you don't think Baylor would be interested in Urban Meyer? Come on. Well, they wouldn't want what scandals? Well, they wouldn't. Oh, come on. I don't care. That's if Dave Aranda would leave. Ready for this one? I can stay in the Big 12. West Virginia. You don't think a school like West Virginia would hire Urban Meyer? Now, would Urban Meyer want to go there? I don't know. But Urban Meyer, Ohio guy. I mean, Midwest, West Virginia is a little bit to the east of that, but still, West Virginia dipping into Ohio to recruit. Come on. Big 12 again. Again, possible within 24 months. Who knows what's going to happen with Dave Aranda? Who knows what's going to happen at West Virginia? Just giving you a couple places where he may end up. And then you look for a place that's so desperate that they don't care. If Scott Frost doesn't work out in Nebraska, you're telling me Nebraska wouldn't hire Urban Meyer? If you're in Nebraska and it doesn't work out with Scott Frost, let's say he goes 7-5 this year and 5-7 the next and he's done. You're in Nebraska in 2 years, 56-year-old Urban Meyer, 57-year-old Urban Meyer, you're going to look and go, yeah, but in Jacksonville, he did have a kicker that missed a bunch of kicks and he did kick him in the leg. I'm not going to care about that. 2 years? Come on. Come on. Iona Liberty, those schools didn't care. Pitino, Hugh Freeze, they didn't care. I find all sorts of coaches like on those rebuilding tours. They're not. So, what's next for Urban Meyer? Huh? He's going to take it easy for a year, 2 years if he wants to get back into it. I just gave you 3 scenarios. Aranda leaves Baylor. Baylor would go after Urban Meyer. West Virginia go after Urban Meyer. And Urban Meyer looks around and goes, hey, man, the Big 12 may not be that bad of a place coming up here. Big 12 is going to be structured a lot like the Big 10 one when I was there. Maybe even a little bit easier. And then really, Nebraska. Big 10 East, it's a juggernaut. Michigan, Michigan State, Penn State, Ohio State. I can hang out over in the West with what? Northwestern and Nebraska and Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois. Who else is over there? Is Purdue and Indiana over there? Oh, God. So there's 3 possible places for Urban Meyer. Now, the elite jobs, I mentioned Baylor, West Virginia, Nebraska, those are done. I mean, look, like the Southern Cals, the Notre Dames, those programs are done. He's not going to get hired there. Those days are done. But if he wants to coach again, there's some scenarios that I laid out for you. We'll see what happens. But, college ranks, college to the pros, People point to say it doesn't work. Well, look, Pete Carroll worked a decade ago. Depends, but that was an NFL guy that went to college that came back, right? See, Nick Saban was an NFL guy that went to college, came back to the NFL, and it didn't work and went back to college. But you look around like the Matt Rules of the world. I mean, is it successful? Doug Marrone was okay at Buffalo, had a good year in Jacksonville. I look around at these guys that do this. It's tough. Jim Harbaugh was pretty successful. Of course, Bobby Petrino wasn't. Steve Spurrier, not so much. Got to be the right fit. And culture-wise, you got to have something in place there for that to work. You really, really do. And it's one of those things that I think if you have a little NFL pedigree, it works. Like Jim Harbaugh had some NFL pedigree. I think, like if Jim Harbaugh would win the national championship at Michigan this year, and the Bears came calling, if I were Jim Harbaugh, I'd leave and go to the NFL. You bet I would. Would Michigan hire Urban Meyer? No, he wouldn't go there. So there you go on that front. One to wrap with this. When I saw this story, I just kind of chuckled. There's certain things that you take with a grain of salt, right? Things are going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. You are going to embarrass yourself from time and time again. But there's a difference between embarrassing yourself and being an embarrassment. Right? We all have that friend that his girlfriend cheated on him, and you sat there, maybe with a wife or whoever it was, and you sit around, you talk to him, and okay. Yeah, she sucks. She's terrible. And I always make sure that I don't talk trash. I'm like, yeah, but I'm here for you. Whatever you need, that's fine. And then what happens? Then they get back together and it becomes awkward. Well, this is how I look at Emory Jones in Florida right now. Emory Jones coming out. He didn't say it. Was it Pete Thamel said it in a tweet that Emory Jones is going to transfer into the portal after the bowl game. Wait, what? You know what that's the equivalent of? That's the equivalent of we're going to break up after Christmas so I can get my presents. He's going to use the UCF game as a springboard to showcase his skill set to transfer. Florida, you're going to allow this? Think about this. We're done. But I'm still going to come over to your house on Christmas so I can get my presents. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. We're broken up. I'm going to leave you. But on December 27th, that way I can get all the goodies. And this isn't one of those things this is out there. This is one of those things that we all know, okay, this is not going to end well. This is just a matter of time. Emory Jones is the dude that broke up with the girl effective after Christmas. Or she dumping him saying, we're done. After, on February 15th, we're done. Florida, you can't let Emory Jones play in this game. Again, we all do things embarrassing, but don't become an embarrassment. If this is the case, I'm going to play in the game, then I'm going to leave you. Okay. Now, maybe they think they can convince him to stay. Maybe. But this is one of these things, you can't let the dude play in the game. You just can't. How could you do that? There's certain things that, as much as this sucks, we can't do this. This just can't happen. It can't. And again, I want to see Emory succeed. Now, where should he go if he is going to transfer? I think Emory Jones would do extremely well if he found himself in American Conference school, like at USF. He could go there and thrive. I don't know about UCF. I don't know. I guess. Gus Malzahn's offense, yeah, if you want to go light that one up. UAB, I think they're Memphis, a place like that. Emory Jones could go and have some success. You bet. You bet. He's not going to, come on. When you've got guys like Spencer Rattler transferring into South Carolina, where he's going to go to Vanderbilt, come on. So places like that, he could go succeed. You bet. Maybe. I mean, you could talk me into the Big 12 if you're talking like Iowa State or Kansas, or maybe Kansas State. You could talk me into that on the lower end, but that's about where it's going to be. But I saw this. Emory Jones is going to transfer into the portal after he plays in the bowl game. No, you're not. No. We're done. We're breaking up after Christmas so I can get my presents. That's the equivalent of. Harp on Sports, the Bar podcast, audio media, radio network. Follow, share, like, subscribe. Like my Pizza Land shirt? Pizza Land. New Jersey. Sopranos, right? Look at that thing. I can't believe I didn't get it out of the bag the other day. I should have worn it for my last podcast, but there you go. All those videos and photos, by the way, great time that my dad and I had, all up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Check them out. And I'm going to write an article on that whole trip coming up here heading into this weekend. So there you go. Harp on Sports, the Bar. Again, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, harponsports.com. Remember, stay clean, stay focused, stay strong. Frankenstein. Have fun with your friends.